Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Climb blog. Come on through, you guys. As you can see, Americans got a raise. Median household income in the United States rose to $80,000 a year in 2023. Now, we got conflicting numbers. One number says up to 130,000, one says 80,000. So we're going to go over some of those numbers, and we'll take a little peek over at single moms just for a second. I'm not going to do a rant, not going to stay over there long. I want y'all to know these numbers are not accurate. Me and Aaron Clary are going to do a show at some point, I guess this weekend or next week sometime. So as you can see on there, we have the top 40 certifications book part 2. You can grab the link there and the 5-day challenge. Listen, build out a digital marketing business, build out affiliate marketing business. You know, I'm going to have some pictures and some videos. You'll see me holding up some awards I've won for affiliate marketing and how it's changed my life. Again, Digital Liberty School Warriors, we are teaching this Saturday. It's in your classroom. It's also sends an email reminder to all students on Facebook ads. Okay, let's get into it. It is March. It is March Madness. You have to get people's attention in the next 90 days because if not, they'll be on to the summer. Okay, on to the summer. All right. So let's get into it. All right. So many of you see here. Let me go ahead and pull this first article up. And a lot of times I want to tell you guys that so many people have deferred maintenance, you know, and many people say, what is deferred maintenance, Erica? What do you mean? Deferred maintenance is where, honestly, we talk about houses. We'll start with a house. But 9 times out of 10, when people talk about deferred maintenance, you know, they see a house, it's overgrown, the shrubbery looks crazy. It looks terrible. This might be an older person just getting behind. And that's why those videos where people are cutting people's grass for free is so popular because everybody's so busy. They're just so busy. They can't get out for 30 minutes and cut their own grass at their house. You know what I mean? They haven't taught their teenage sons or daughters to get up and cut the grass at their house. They just can't manage cutting the grass once a week at their house. Now, you may say, Erica, cutting grass is exhausting. It's a lot. I work hard. You know what? My grass is overgrown. Now, I'm talking about these videos where the grass is up to people's knees and they struggle to get through the front door. And people say, well, my grass may be high, but the inside of the house is clean. But baby, it's deferred maintenance. If you got deferred maintenance in one area, I guarantee you got deferred maintenance in another area. That's just life. That's just life and how it goes. Okay. So let's get into it. Let's scroll down. All right, U.S. median household income rose to $80,000. Now we're going to see, you know, is it good news? Right? So again, there's claims there's a 4% increase from 77,000. But what did we learn over the past couple of years since 2019? People move back home with their parents, multiple people living in a house. So these are household income. Now, again, white and non-Hispanic households were the only racial or Hispanic origin people whose incomes rose significantly by 5 and 7%. What have I been telling y'all? Over and over again, who's doing the construction, who's the GC, who's building the houses, who's buying the houses, who's buying the rentals, who's making moves in this country by simply buying a house. Now, look at the median household incomes in the United States. This is Black. Look at Hispanic. Look at Asian. Look at white, not Hispanic and white. Okay. So let's just do some simple math. Does $56,000 feel like a lot of money in Atlanta? Does $56,000 feel like a lot of money in New York? Does $56,000 a year feel like a lot of money in Miami, Tampa, Orlando, Nashville, Memphis, Dallas, Houston. I'm trying to think of all the black people's places. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. Does $56,000 sound like a lot of money? If there's multiple people living in under one roof, this is the household income. Does that sound like a lot of money? Okay. Now you take a look at the Asian income. You're talking about $112,000 a year. Now, I want y'all to be very clear when I bring this stuff up. You're like, Erica, why are you talking about race so much? There's white people watching this channel. There's all kind of people watching this channel. That is true, but I want y'all to understand, if you're in America and you're saying, it doesn't matter what other people are doing, I'm just happy, I'm content, I don't care what nobody else got going on. Are you even competitive in the country you love? Are you even competitive for you to live the life you want? Are you able to retire? Today, I just saw somebody's training on memory care facilities. They're charging $8,000 to $9,000 per room. Do you have an extra $8,000 to $9,000 a month you're going to put your mama and daddies in a room? It's not cheap. It's just not cheap. And so I think people are telling people, hey, I'm doing great. Okay. This is why I bring up Tech Tuesdays. This is why I bring up all these educational points. If you can't Google search things, baby, we need a data upgrade. Remember when you used to have to put CDs in the computer? The AOL CDs? Anybody old enough to remember that? Or is that just me? You had them AOL CDs you put in the computer to upgrade. And I'm telling y'all, some of y'all need to reboot just like that. You need to reboot your mind on what things cost. You need to reverse engineer your year. What are the things you want to do this year? How much do they cost? There's a really funny video where the girl goes, Lord, I got 17 trips planned. I know you can do it, Lord. And I laugh because I'm like, that's how a lot of people out here living. Like, Lord, I really want to go. I really want to do some things. Good, like make a way, Lord, make a way. You know what I mean? And you're like, make a way. What do you mean? Right? And so that's why I just want y'all to understand, like, let's look at this math. All right, so let's keep going. I'm gonna open that up and show y'all that. Let's go down. Okay. While Black and Hispanic households did increase, they only grew 2.8%. That's Hispanic, and 0.4%. Okay, so listen, Asian households did see a slight decline in median income, but they still earned the most in 2023 of any race or Hispanic group. Okay, racial wealth gaps and pay also affect people. Okay. Now you can talk about the gender pay gap. They were going to come in with that. All right. In addition to systematically being undervalued and underpaid, women dominate low wage positions, occupations, services, hospitality, which may explain the wider broad gap. Now, listen, I'm going to say this, and I know people ain't going to like this, but if you see some of these young ladies, they're going to still be single to their 30s. They might as well, okay? They might as well go get a serious job or a job that pays well. A lot of women go into soft careers so that they can break away and spend time with their babies. I'm meeting girls who are 35 who are like, I thought I was going to have been married with kids by now. That's why I chose being a teacher. If I'd known I was going to be able to not make any money all these years as a teacher, I'd have went and did something else. That's why your teachers are quitting. Some of these people have plans for some life that ain't even happened yet. All right. So again, let me get to the next one. Okay. So they said there was a raise, y'all. Okay. So if y'all didn't know, we got a raise. Now I'm going to show you some other data here that I think is so vital important. Excuse me. I apologize. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to share this. And this is the other data people are getting. Because remember, a lot of people are living together. All right, here we go.
Bringing in an income. What is the average income for families in the United States?
I'm always afraid to take a guess here at the risk of sounding out of touch or like an idiot. The average household income?
Yes.
120,000.
Hey, you're pretty close. 136,000 or so. Higher than
Okay.
I would have thought, actually.
Okay, let me see if I make this bigger. Boom. All right. So this, and I'm gonna show you the data sheet where they got this from. United States, 2023, 135,000. Previous years, it was 126,000. Midwest, 135,000. Northeast, 151,000. South census, 124,000. West census, 144,000. Now, this, of course, is remember, y'all got to remember multiple families in a house. That means multiple family members are working. Okay. So does that data sound accurate? Because I can tell you right now, I live in Austin, and yes, Austin is a bubble. I lived in a house one time with a financial analyst who made 158 a year. One of the top engineers over at Samsung as a woman who made 185 a year, and I was in there making 100, barely scratching 112, and we were in a house together. So when I see these numbers, I'm gonna just tell y'all what I think. It's a bunch of family members not making good money. It's 2 or 3 family members, so maybe 2, 3 more, a teenage son or a son that's just out of college, or he didn't go to college and he's making maybe 30K a year at Chipotle, or he's making 30K a year driving Uber. And then the parents are barely making 50, barely making 40. That's how they're getting to this 135 number. I know nobody wants to hear that, but that's the truth. There are significant numbers of, and the numbers have been changing. That's part of why I'm going to do a video, Aaron Claren, because I think a lot of people from the outside looking in go, oh, black people are just doing so bad. No, I think we have a lot more black people doing better. Keyword, a lot more, not all. But the issue is, if multiple people in a house and this is the medium, yeesh, yikes. Husband and wife team, and if a husband and wife both make 80, they're balling. They're both making 90. Great. This is why this argument that I don't care what my wife does. She can just stay home with the kids and it doesn't even matter. And then a couple years later, oh my God, the dad, she's got to go back to work. The kids are in school. They start stripping because they never really did the math on, is this going to work? Is this possible to even do? No, they didn't. Okay, now let me show you this little thing right here. Boom, let me show you this right here. The economic status of single mothers. Okay, where is this from, Erica? AmericanProgress.org. Okay, AmericanProgress.org. Okay, I know y'all want to be like, Erica. Okay, but let's just go there just for a second. Okay, we can go there. Majority of single mothers in their 30s and 40s don't have a college degree. And half have never been married. Let's keep going. Where it's real. Now, here we go. Almost half of black mothers are single mothers. 47%. But really, the number was 41% once they looked at it again. And that means what? 53% of black women with children are married. No, Erica, no, it's not possible. Yes, you guys have been repeating for years an inaccurate talking about 70% of black people, black babies born out of wedlock. Y'all, that means the women who do have babies. There's only 2 million babies born a year. You got these old knuckle draggers on YouTube still telling you data from 30 years ago. There's only 2 million black babies born a year. And there's like literally 25 million black women. There's more white single moms than black women alive. Like the numbers of combination of divorced white women and single mom white women outnumber black women. This is why this is so comical to me, because y'all don't understand data. You have a bunch of old dusties online repeating talking points. Yeah, only like 10% of black men even have children. That is not accurate. You're not reading the data. Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul, he quoted you the data for 16-year-old boys to 25-year-old men. Okay, 16-year-old boys to 25-year-old men had the lowest numbers of children, of course, because they were 16 to 25. Okay, when you move the data back up from 18 years old black men to 35-year-old black men, the data, of course, change. Okay, I don't go listen. You may be you may be on all these dating apps and you're like, Erica, I'm on the dating apps and all I see is single moms. Okay, that's like walking outside and you just, I'm in Target and Target's full of women. So that's the accurate data. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works, you guys. Okay. And even this data has issues because 31% is other. Who's other? Majority of the time, this is either a half Black woman, half white woman, half Latino woman, half angel, biracial. So it's making the white women 14% low, but we already know white women are up at 20%. Hispanic women at 25%. Native American women are at freaking 69%. They actually beat us in the numbers of unwed mothers. Okay. Asian is at 8%. But all y'all life, y'all been running around. Is 70% of Black women is single moms. And I'm telling you, the data doesn't match that. The whole Black woman net worth being $5, that's been debunked too. And this is what I mean when I say deferred maintenance. When you walking around telling me talking points from 1994, it's embarrassing, right? When I sit here and tell you the National Human Services has tracked this data for years, it's public record that the national average for child support is $274 a month. And 50% of the men court ordered don't even pay. So y'all keep out here, yeah, man, my brother paying $500, $1,000. Your brother makes $30K a year. He's not paying $500 a month unless he's in arrears. This is where America gets embarrassing. If you don't know the data, you don't know where to go. If you don't know the basics, you don't know, you know what, Erica? I thought making 50K a year was the best. I'm doing great. I'm making 50K a year. And then something happens to your wife or your kids, and now 50K a year is no money. Right? I'm not insulting anybody who works hard. I want y'all to work hard. I want you to enjoy your life, but I want you to be aware. I don't know if I still have it up. I probably don't. But there is a white woman whose husband was an executive at Amazon. And knock on wood, I don't want no beef, Jeff. And future Cam and them have stopped growing in families, right? And it's a white woman, and they have 4 kids. And the FBI came, and the Department of Justice was like, "Yeah, you did something criminal against Amazon." Never proved it. Held all their money and assets for 4 years at the start of the pandemic. And literally, they had to lose their house. Their dad was in cancer treatment. They took all the money. She called and said, "Dude, we don't have no money for our children." They were like, "You know, your husband can plead guilty and you can get some money." And at the end of this whole thing, they had to release the case and let it all go. No one ever apologized to the family, and they didn't get their money back. And I want y'all to understand is, in the case, I could go a little bit further in the case, but essentially, he's an executive at Amazon. Him and his buddies all making $250K plus a year. And they all call each other, right? Because this is the gray area. I'm gonna say on ethics, I wouldn't do it, but I get it. They're all in the meetings. They need data centers. They run around, raise couple $1 million, go build some data centers, right? And then of course they're gonna do what? Pitch it to their main job. That's a conflict of interest. I would agree. That's an ethical gray area. I would agree. But enough to take your money out your bank account for 4 years and fight in court for 4 years, and in the end, nothing come of it. This is why when people try to tell me they got big money, I'm like, baby, do you have big money enough to feed your children for 4 years? If your company has a misunderstanding, you know, what's up, successful children? I'm so sorry to hear about your sister. God bless you. Do you have the income to survive if, there is a misunderstanding or there's a forfeit aperture, right? This is why I'm big on learning where to put your money in different accounts, move your money around, right? Dark man Jeff, it depends on the city. To be truthfully honest, it depends on the city. If you're going to live in a major metro, I'd say, again, my standard on this channel, and I'll be honest with y'all, if you make over 70K a year and you own a house, there is no recession for you right now. There just isn't. The majority of money that's being spent in our economy right now is by people who make $250,000. So somebody making 70, they're still going to the grocery store. They got a house. They're doing okay. Someone making under 70 in an apartment, They're online crying about cost of stuff. They're like really complaining, right? I'm in New York and 56K only goes as far as paying rent and living with your family. I'm in the city government at 55 and penny pension without my LLC. There you go. There you go. So it just depends. And it depends on your goal. Same thing with credit. When we talk about credit being levels of credit, level 1, 2, 3, 4, what are you trying to do? If you're just trying to buy a house and buy a car, you're on level 1. You don't have to worry about too much. But this is why I wanted to show y'all the single moms are more likely to be in the labor force and work full time than married mothers, but less likely than single and married fathers. Okay. So there you go. The yellow is unemployed. So 75% of single moms are working. Stop with the whole they sitting at home on the welfares. They're doing nothing. Like, we can let that go now. Okay. We can stop. Married women, 71%. So they right at the work with you. Single fathers, 82% of them working, and married fathers, 92% of them are working. I just want y'all to understand, like, a lot of the stuff y'all reading is very easily debunked with just, economic data. Y'all can just stop that. But again, this is when I hear people quote stuff from 2-3 years ago, I already know what time it is. I already know what time it is. I said, oh, they quoting somebody's talking points. And I love doing that. I'd be trolling people. I'm like, oh, talking points. Okay. And then they'll be like, oh, they'd be so mad. Again, here we go. Now this up here, report on economic well-being of U.S. households, 2023 to May 2024. Okay. Now you can go find this at the federalreserve.gov. This is a publication. Okay. You can find this at federalreserve.gov. Did everybody get that? Okay. So again, all right, they're considering this as cash income from all sources that the spouse and their partner together received or in the house. Okay. Now let's look at this big jump. Okay. 19% of families were at less than 25%. 17% of the families were at 25 to 49,000. Is this big enough? Y'all can let me know in the comments. 27% were at 50,000 to 99,000. Right? What did I call that? The massive middle. That massive middle that, when you're watching the news and they're talking about the middle class, they're talking about these people right here. But look at how big this group is. If you go 25 to 50K, you're talking about a group that's bigger than this group. That's what you understand. That you see how they segment them down. Now, anybody making less than 25K, I think they're in poverty, but they could be living in West Virginia. They could be living in Ohio. They could be living in Oklahoma. They could be in Kansas City and be like, I'm doing okay. Not great, but okay. And so here, 100,000 or more, 37%. Now, what have people been telling you all these years? Oh, there's nobody making 100 grand. People are starving. Now, people may not individually be making 100 grand, but you got 37% of households bringing in 100 grand. That's a lot. That's a lot of households. So this thought process that, nobody's making any money, everybody's broke, nobody can afford eggs. Baby, when I look on the timeline, not just my timeline, but in general, I'm seeing people go to these soccer games, these traveling hockey games, these private schools. Those private schools are 25K on average a year. Those traveling soccer teams and baseball teams, they're talking about 20K. I know a guy right now who's very dedicated to his stepson in baseball. And people act like, oh, nobody's being a stepdaddy. That man been a stepdaddy since that boy was 1 year old. That kid's going to the pros at his rate, okay? So there's money out there in the marketplace. So this ideal that I can't believe these women are buying Amazon and shopping online, and shame on them. What are you talking about? Their household is bringing in over 100,000 a year. They got it. Okay. They got it. All right. So let me go into the other part of this right here. Where's it at? And so you can go down here and you can pay attention. Now, this is very interesting, right? Wages, salary, self-employment, 67%. But if you go down here, interest, dividend, rental income, 34%. But if you go to Social Security, including old age and disability, 26%. So we got a significant amount of people on that Social Security. As much as we have a significant portion, like a 1/3, who are doing what? Rental income, interest, dividends, right? So you got some pension down here. You got some cash assistance and welfare programs. Their unemployment way low, way low. But yeah, pay attention, you guys. Like, the data's out here if you need to really look at it, right? Showing monthly income, the changes, okay? So you scroll down here, monthly spending relative to income. Okay, now look down here. They holding on. Up here, they balling. They spending 55%, 49%, 48% of their income. So when you're like, Erica, it's a recession. It's a recession. It's a recession. Okay. Let me keep on going. Down here. Again, you can see this on it's just a different chart. It's the same as the other one. So how much money they had to spend per, in relative to their income. These people out here, they're not pressed. These people are pressed. You're talking about 25%, okay? So 25,000 a year. So again, income varied at least, occasionally month to month. So who's going to have the most fluctuations in their income month to month? Let's get up top. Construction, leisure and hospitality. You already know it's seasonal, right? The ski resorts make money in the winter. They don't make it in the summer, right? Natural resources and mining, transportation and utilities, wholesale and retail trade, education and health services, public administration, all the way at the bottom, armed forces. They're going to get that consistent check from the government for sure. All right. So let me go down here. No, that's not it. That's the one. Let me get out of here. And people may say, Erica, this is a little boring. Why are you sharing this? But I share it because when people are out here with the wrong information, they make bad choices. That's just the truth. I had a friend, and God bless her, she passed away. She said she like mapped out her money for like a year, and she had a little boy, and she was like, oh crap, I'm getting ready to move to a different place, basically closer to where her parents lived and everything, to save on costs. And I just thought, well, that's crazy. But she had already looked at the graph, like, okay, I don't have enough money to really stay here for the next X amount of years, right? Are these numbers taxable income? Travel, healthcare center. We're usually poor on paper because so much income is non-tax stipend. So I'm guessing that's not being counted. It's a combination. It's a combination. Okay, let me get over here. One more. This is child poverty, right? I want to show you child poverty. Y'all get the likes up. There's 181 people here. If you're enjoying the commentary, drop a 1 in the comments. You guys know the countdown is on to the release of the book and the podcast tour. We have about 250 podcasts we're going on. Woo! Prepare yourselves to see a lot of podcast clips next couple months. We won't have as much content on the channel. So, I love being here. Love doing all this. I just hope you guys get to see some of the interviews. But yeah, so just enjoy the content while we're here. Older adults and child poverty rates change in many states. Okay. While the poverty rate for those over 65 and older remain lower, the poverty rate for children rose a little bit. Okay. So we can go here. This is perfect. This is what I want to show y'all. There's one I want to show y'all. I think it's on this one. Okay. Let me go here. As you can see, y'all already know what it is. The Sissy South, right? 20%, especially that deep Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, New Mexico. It's looking real. West Virginians up here. It's looking rough. Okay, 18 to 64, a little bit less, way less. 65 and older. Man, they struggling in that Mississippi. They purple. Everybody else is doing all right somewhat, but they purple. Okay, can y'all see that? Hope that's big enough. I wouldn't even work. Listen, everybody has a different level. I hear you. When you have skills, I posted a picture of the lady with all those badges on the post, and everybody's like, oh, she's unstable. And I'm like, nah, she just has skills. She can just keep doing that. And you would think, well, she gets older, people aren't going to want to hire her. If you're in a nursing field, if you're in a medical field, if you're in electrical, if you're in plumbing, that baby, they need people. They don't care. They don't care. Let me see. Okay, yeah, there's some child poverty map. There's a better one I had. This ain't it. It's the next page. Hold on. I got the next page up. And again, this United States Census Bureau, if you guys want to, Erica, where are you finding this data from? This is verified. This is United States Government Census Bureau. Okay, this is take it up with the government. You don't like the data. You don't like where they're scraping it. You don't like they scraping it from Social Security. They're scraping it from IRS and everybody else and their mama. Like, call them, feel free to call. Okay, here it is. Is this one? No, it's this one. Okay, let's try again. All right. It's okay. This is the probability children of parents in the bottom fifth income distribution will remain at that level. Now, I tell you all the time, 80% of people, if your mama's poor, you'll be poor. The data backs that. People don't want to hear that, okay? They don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. That's how the data works because it's hard to move up economic levels. So again, the orange is black children, the green is white children. 1978, if you were a poor white person, 24% of you, chance you're going to be, that probability you're going to be poor. Your children are going to be poor. Almost 40% if you're black. Now, it's kind of switched. In 1992, we've come down for whatever reason. White poor children have gone up. I don't know, what's that about? I can't tell you. I ain't going to try to be funny with you. Okay. We don't know. We don't know what that's about. We're going to act like we don't know. There's some reason that's happening. Okay. So let me go back. Let me go down some more. No, it's not. Oh, here it is. That's what I wanted. Boom. There we go. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, there we go. All right. Changing the opportunity for white children from low-income families. Woo! The red. I know it's a lot of red, y'all. I know it's a lot of red. The red is families who make $30,000 a year. The blue-green is families that make the $40K a year. Is that big enough? Can y'all see that? I hope so. Put a one in the comments if you can see it, because I think y'all can see it pretty well. All right, so this is important. You see Alaska. Alaska's got some rough spots, right? Now, 1978, people weren't doing so bad, right? It's a lot of red in 1978, but people were doing pretty all right? Even in Alaska, they was doing all right, okay? Now, 1992, when did Bill Clinton get in, y'all? Somebody in the comments tell me when Bill Clinton got in. I'm about to Google it, but tell me when Bill Clinton got in, y'all. Because I'm about to try to look it up. Bill Clinton got in the 90s. Feel good 90s? Let me see. Somebody let me know when Bill Clinton got up in there. Okay. All right. So 1992, it got real red. Now let's scroll down a little bit. Now I'm not trying to be funny, but y'all see where black people live. We don't live over everywhere. We don't live everywhere. Okay. Like if we zoom into some of these places, Milwaukee, some of these places we can zoom in and know who they are. This is Kansas. Yeah, this is St. Louis. I mean, you can tell some of these places. Anyway, let's scroll down a little bit more. All right. Now, the purple in 1978 is people making $18,000 a year. Now you may think, well, that's terrible. That's crazy. I mean, 1978, y'all can compare. Yeah, Bill 1992. Okay, 1992. Perfect. Oh, for sure. Listen, Vic the Kid. I mean, honestly, I keep telling people it's 2.5 million in assets. We did a whole show with DJ the Money Coach on that, but nobody wants to hear that. People are offended. No matter how you make that argument, there's a great book called Bait and Switch. And what's the other book called? Long story short, people will be like, I love my child. I know I can be a good mom. And it's like, it's not love. It's money. It's food. Can you feed them? Okay. All right. So this is you see the purple, right? This is 18,000, 25,000. I mean, they only made 25,000 in the red. Okay. So it's not like a huge number. This is where people are making decent money, right? But they were struggling essentially. California, the dark purple is look at North Carolina. That's embarrassing. North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama. This is a lot of black folks. Now, if you look over here, the red in 1992 is people make about 30,000 a year. There is barely any green. There's not even green up here in New York. And that's people making 40K. There may be like a speckle up here up north. I see like 1 or 2 speckles, but the rest of this is purple. It's real rough. So again, I'm showing you this because change an opportunity for, people in different families. Okay, you can scroll down. Let me see. Okay, change. Let me see if I can click it on it, make it bigger. There we go. Change in children's earnings as adults versus change in parent employment, right? So the squares are black, low-income parents, okay? The circles are white, low-income parents. And the triangles are white, high-income families, okay? Again, remember 1978, 1992, as you can see, it's up. It's a, I don't like this one. I don't particularly like this map. Let me show you another one. Don't particularly like that one. Oh no, is it in my next section? It might be. Oh no, it might be another one. But that one basically covered gaps. And why am I showing you this? Because you're going to say, Erica, what's the point of these charts? You're showing these charts. What is it? What does that do? What does that mean? I just want you to do an assessment of, this is bank accounts. This one I wanted to show y'all though. Poor people will still have kids. Nothing will stop. Nothing in the world. Seeing where opportunity was in 1978, which is just 7 years after going off the gold standard to today. That's how weak the dollar has gotten, for sure. For sure. We went to an asset-based society. So this is why whenever anybody tells me, why would I buy a house? It's a bad investment to buy a house. And I just look at them and I go, like, you're in an asset-based society. It's based on who has the most assets. So you may laugh at Indian people and be like, oh, what are they doing? They're buying up hotels. They're buying up land. They're buying up things. It's a country based off assets. And people, why, I saw a lot of people say, why would a millionaire come to America? Donald Trump's so stupid for this $5 million thing. And I just want people to understand, I'm like, people are in countries where they may have money, but you saw how, I hate to use them as an example, but they're just the only one I can use off the top of my head. Andrew taking his brother over there in Romania, paying police, doing all kind of stuff, and they didn't even get by. You know what I'm saying? So you may have Eastern European people who are like, I will pay the $5 million so I can have my money, quotation marks, in the safety of America, where I know if I come back, my land is still here. Right now in Mexico, it's covered up in the news, but there's a lot of, if you look up the stories, people are going to Mexico. They bought houses on the beach. Now the area has gotten popular for tourists, and the Mexican government is taking the land back. They've been living out there since the 70s and 80s, like hippies. And the Mexican government's like, oh, I don't know. You don't own this land. This is going to be public beach, and selling it to other investors. So, when you talk about, well, that's eminent domain, Erica, they do that in America. They're not even giving these people any money. They're just literally like, peace out, American, get off this beachfront. And I don't think y'all understand, like, someone with millions of dollars wants to protect them. They're going to have just extra passports, and America will be just extra passport. All right. 6% of adults were unbanked in 2023. That means neither them nor their spouse had a savings account, a checking account, or a money market account. Okay. Now let's go even higher. Unbanked rates remain high among low-income adults. 23% of adults with income below $25,000 were unbanked, compared to 1% of adults with 100K or more. You already know what I'm going to say. Unbanked rates were also higher among younger adults, Black and Hispanic adults, and adults with disabilities. Now, whenever I talk to y'all and you're like, well, what's wrong with having Chime? What's wrong with having PayPal? What's wrong with being, what's wrong with having any of these? And I'm not knocking you for having alternative banking. I will never knock you for having alternative banking. What I want you to understand is the protections that are due to you are not happening, right? I mean, I'm talking about people cashing at the liquor store. Look, there's a road here in Austin, Texas called Palm Springs. When I first moved here, I was over there with Jollyville, where a lot of Black people live and Hispanic people live. Now they cleaned it up more and more. It's less of us over there, but I would go to that corner store and I needed a cashier's check. And the man tried to tell me it was going to be $3 for a cashier's check. I said, man, if you don't get that blank out of here. And I drove over to the bank and the bank was like, oh yeah, it's like free. It was like free. And I said, I looked at the people coming into that store and I said, y'all are in here giving these people $3 for a cashier check. Then on top of that, they were cashing checks in there. I was there one time and a Black lady was getting, what do you call it, the scratch offs? And she was cashing a check. And I said, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Now, this was years ago. This may be 2014, 2015. But I sat there and was like, oh my God, she's cashing a check here? I don't trust them to even pay my Pepsi and give me some gas. So I just want you to understand that people are literally living like that and go, well, banks charge fees and this charges fees. I'm like, every time you cash your check here, this is charging fees, right? Bank of America, when people said, you know, how are the undocumented people are not getting credit cards? I said, that's not true. In college, in early 2000s, in Greenville, North Carolina, I remember being in the bank line, cashing my student loan money, my grant money, because I went to school for free and I worked at the financial aid office. I was like, give me my check so I can walk over to Bank of America because I'm so proud to walk to Bank of America, right? Which was stupid. Like walking with a check that size, it was just dumb. I mean, a young person dumb, right? And I go over there to the line and it was like they had to make a second line where they had 10 Hispanic guys. And the owner of the company or the manager kept going up to the window and he'd have the check. And they like, yes, I verify this is who they say they are. Whatever little card he was showing, Bank of America would be like, would you like to say leave any of it in account? And the Hispanic man would be like, no, I need my money. So they cash the check, give him the check, and he walk out the bank, right? And it was like the line kept going where all 10 of the guys did that. And I just thought that's the craziest thing. But that's what I didn't understand is we were already doing the ITIN number thing with a lot of Hispanic people. We were already cashing their checks and giving them secured credit cards. And they were able to go to Lowe's and Home Depot and get you know, basic starter cards. So to say that, you know, undocumented people don't have credit in America is hilarious. It's hilarious. It's like they were doing that when I was in college. What are you talking about? As long as that bank could cash that check, they were doing that when I was in college. Knock it off. You literally had to be a land property owner to vote in this country. Why would you ever believe that buying a house is a bad decision? I'm telling you, like when people argue about the school districts and the like, yeah, we need more money for the schools. I already know they're not a house owner. I already know they don't have no children in school over in that neighborhood. They don't know the basics, right? So again, so this is unbanked right here. 25,000 to 50K a year, 8% of them still unbanked. 50K to 100K a year, 2% of them still unbanked. 18 to 29 years old, 29 stretching it now, 11% of them unbanked. 30 to 44%, 9% unbanked. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Oh, you already know. White, 4% unbanked. Black, 14% unbanked. And Hispanic, 11% unbanked. Y'all, come on now. The Hispanic people can't come here and only be 11% unbanked. We got to get it together. We got to get it together. Got to get it together. Okay. Let me see anything else. No. Non-bank checking and money orders. Oh, I don't even want to look at it. Okay, it's better now. It's better. Okay. I mean, we starting to get better. It's starting to go back up though. 47% in 2019. 5 years ago, almost 50% of the people were going to get the Lord Jesus, get money orders at the gas station. Now it's down. It went down to 31% in 2022. Now it's going back up a little bit. That's kind of scary. I hope that doesn't go up more. What else? Cryptocurrency. Bought cryptocurrency or held it as an investment. Okay. Yeah, people cutting up. I'm gonna leave that alone. And that's the unbanked, y'all. This is not this is the unbanked getting cryptocurrency. So I mean, you know, I'm gonna leave that alone. Main reason people use cryptocurrency. 29% said the person or business they received it. 18% said money faster. 4% said I don't trust banks. What else? I got anything else? Nope. Cryptocurrency. That's it. Oh, here we go. Denied credit or approval for less than requested by family, income, and race ethnicity. White. Less than 50,000. They was denying 47% of white people. That you're not the only person getting denied for credit. Almost half of white people are getting denied for less than 50,000. 65% of black people are getting denied, and 59% of Hispanic. It's absolutely crazy. $50,000 to $99,000 worth of credit, right? Or a loan. 41% of black people, 37% of Hispanics, and 27% of whites. 100,000 or more. I mean, we almost double here. That's ridiculous. 13% white, 29% black, and 24% Hispanic. Why does this matter? People are going to say, you know, such and such had a restaurant. Such and such had a business. Why they didn't got no money? If they can't, oh, I'm sorry, it's on the screen. If they can't get a loan, you know what I mean? Like if they can't get a loan, it's hard to keep it rolling, right? My old company opened 100 brand new fueling stations in Mexico, only for the government to wake up one day and claim the stations as their own. Honey, I believe it. I've read that so much. It's ridiculous. And people sit here and look you dead in the face. I would go to Canada. I would go to Mexico. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's the scary part. We're going to have a lot of people wake up in Mexico, and Mexico's going to be like, yeah, you know, you owe some more tax or you got to go. And they're going to be calling America. And America going to be like, what you want us to do? What you want us to do? I remember my last job, I had to help process payroll. At least 25% employees, black folks, didn't have a direct deposit and still had to process paper checks for them. I remember this girl said she worked at Amazon, and this is right before they switched over, but they had those cards. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they're like a debit card. And I think they ended up suing Amazon because they were like, oh, Amazon's taking all these fees via these cards, but they were just cards to put your payroll on. And it was like a debit card. You go to the ATM and take the money off. And people were trying to sue about that. Like, oh, I don't even want my money on the card. And it's like, you want Amazon to cut a paper check for you? It's crazy. Fintech is different. It's very different. Blue Vine, several banks online were First Tech Credit Union were very friendly to me versus the traditional banks. Back in the day, I worked for a card processor who issued very popular payment card aimed at the black crowd. The fee structure would say it was like $2 to call and check your own balance. Are you talking about Russell Simmons? No. That Russell Simmons card, that Kim Kardashian card. This is why when people talk about the ATM game, they were like, who doesn't have an ATM? Why would a place want me to put an ATM in there? And I go, just the same way these processor places. You can bring your little processor thing, and a lot of these little places don't have proper connections or merchant accounts to even process the stuff. So Friday night at the Indian gas station has to be a fleet of cleaning van and 20 Mexican women clashing they check. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, and that's why when I tell y'all I'm out here in Austin and they're buying land, they're speaking Spanish to other, they're doing rent to own land deals, and then they're putting trailers on them. They going hard. They going hard. That's why I be like, when I see people talk about, well, I'm just going to stay in an apartment, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, you can be on the right path and still get run over. That's the best way I can say it. You can be on the right path and still get run over. I knew what you're talking about. My previous employer was going to convert to that debit card system, and that 25% threw a hissy fit so much that we couldn't go forward with. Dark man Jeff, I'm telling you, the people rose up. They didn't get no bank account, but they rose up to sue Amazon about the debit card. That's why Amazon is just like, whatever. But I just thought, I said, who had enough time and energy to go find a lawyer for a class action lawsuit, but didn't have time to go open up their own bank? Y'all got to get it out of here. Y'all got to get out of here with that mess. That's crazy. Now, there's various reasons why people do this. I remember the guy told me at all my son's movers, several of his guys had child support payments and stuff. They were in arrears, IRS money, they were in arrears. So they didn't want it to go to a bank. They wanted them to cut a check. or give them cash. And he would say, if I got to give you cash out of this location, which is dangerous, I'm taxing you like 5-10% of your pay rate. And people still wanted to do that. And I said, it's just crazy. There's a problem. Who are you hiding from? You know, and I'm not trying to be all 1984. You got to have everything hooked up to the matrix, but you should at least be able to have access. At least have access to do so. Okay, so let me show you this. This was funny. I thought I like to show y'all a little funny here and there with the other stuff. Oh, let me read this first. And dog, my lease is up in October. I was thinking since I'm starting my new job in January, I would have issues in getting a home, but I'm about to go for it. It's too much opportunity here. I'm gonna tell you like this, Ant Dog. Careful of the builders. Go find a really great mortgage broker. We put some on the channel. But if you're in Texas, and I'm just gonna tell you off experience and off of know-how, you got a 620 to 640. Texas is going to give you the first time home buyer credit, which is $15,000 down payment assistance. There's an MCC credit. That's $5,000. Depending on if it's one of these new homes or a builder just trying to make, they're going to cut your buyer rate down to 3%, 3.99%. And then on top of that, the builder's going to give you some money to close and the lender's going to give you some money to close. Ask me how I know. I'm just telling you, like, make it a good deal for you. There are a few realtors, they'll show where their clients are walking away from the table with the check, like $5,000, because Texas is putting money on it, the builder's putting money on it, the lender, the mortgage company's putting money on it, like, and at a 3.99% interest rate, even if they buy down for a year or two, or for 5 years, it's a good deal. So I'm just telling you, that's why when people keep saying, ain't nobody buying no houses in Texas, and I'm driving past neighborhood after neighborhood in Texas, in here in Central Texas, that's getting filled up in the suburbs, it's because the builders are buying down the rate. Texas first time home buyer giving you $15,000. Then on top of that, you're getting $5,000 to $8,000 from your builder. You're getting another $5,000 to $7,000 from the mortgage lender. It's a no-brainer. That's why when people say, oh, I came to Texas and I just blew up all of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, that's how you do. That's pretty much why. But that's what I keep telling people. Like, if you actually pull off the whole Orlando Bloom and all these people like, oh, your property taxes, everything's crazy. Literally, you go in there and say, I want an escrow waiver, which means I won't pay my mortgage separate from my property taxes, and I've changed my insurance. Insurance for a $300,000 house right now is like $128 a month, unless you just got crazy, credit. Property taxes depend on where you live. They're like, oh, Texas had bad property taxes. On average, you're going to pay $2,000 for the year, $2,000 to $5,000 max. So when people say this stuff, I'd be like, I know people paying $2,000 for the year for their property taxes. So you just have to really, and I'm telling you, V, when I meet people, they're usually from Pittsburgh, Ohio. They're from Connecticut coming down here, and they'll hop in a house so fast. Like, I met one lady in literally 4 or 5 places. She had at least 3 family members that moved after her when she told them how she got in that house. It was crazy. These people call each other and tell each other. The Latino community is deep out here telling each other, hey, come over here and do this. Put $1,000 down with the builder, and then they're going to give you all the incentive. It's crazy. Here you go. Let me show you this.
He traded in a Tesla Cybertruck, the new GMC Hummer EV3, a G-Wagon, a bunch of Dodge Dualies for some Mitsubishis.
All right. So if you don't understand what's happening, I know that's loud. I hate the background noise. So there's a Cybertruck, there's a Hummer, there's a G-Wagon, and dualies at the Mitsubishi. Now, there's only a couple ways they got there. Somebody traded them in to get a car. Okay? You know what I mean? They traded them in to get a car. This is exactly why word content does better, because you don't have to hear background noise. You just read the screen. I'm actually testing that in some of my ads coming out, but we'll talk about that Saturday in Digital Liberty Warriors. I just want you to understand. Does it matter if you're previously employed? Okay. Yeah, it's really 2 consecutive years of employment in the same field, really is what it is. But Trust me, as long as you can show consistency and that you're in a growing field in that area, you'll be fine. Let me go here. Let me take this off screen. Where's the other one? I thought I had another one. Ooh, I thought I had another one. Dang. Oh, let me show you a messy moment for 2 seconds. Messy moment, and I'm gonna get on out of here. Let me show y'all. This is Julie Smollett, sister to Jesse Smollett. They choked me outside. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but she was married for 10 years. And she had a kid in 2016. The way this woman was outside, I'd have never known she was married. Ever, ever, ever. Okay. She has to already paid her ex-husband $1 million and $7,000 a month in child support. But he wants more. Joshua Bell, look, when the black man got a haircut like that, you already know he about to be irritating. Josiah Bell divorce was finalized in 2021, which is over 4 years ago. Go somewhere, man. After 10 years of marriage. Now Josiah is saying, no, I want half her retirement savings, and I want some of her 401k, and I want her child SAG pension that she's had since she was 3 years old, y'all. Now, listen, I understand, Josiah, you want some of the money while y'all were married over 10 years. I feel you. I feel you. But not the kid money, not when she was 3 years old, baby. You weren't even in her life then. That's real crazy, baby. That's real crazy. Now, people saying, you women, you be taking men's money. It's only fair. Man, listen, if I've been giving this man $7,000 every month for the past 4 years, let me do the math real quick before I tell y'all a lie. 7,000 times 12 is $84,000 a year times 4 years. He's made $336,000 in the past 4 years, plus the $1 million I gave him. He should be in a position to recoup his life. Was they on the Black Love show? I don't know. But when I saw this, I said, wait a minute, what? And they're like, you women, you don't like when the shoe's on the other foot. I said, no, nobody cares that she pays them now. I mean, their family has been investing for years, but not the kid money, not when she was a child. That's just too much, baby. That's too much, baby. Come on now. You know, nobody wants you to not be paid, but come on now. And again, I had to literally scroll to find this. I was like, she got a kid? So I scrolled all the way down. Because you know her brother got a cooking show, but let's keep it pushing. Scrolling, house burned up. That's her friend's house. I had to keep going. I had to go deep. I said, this woman got a child where? So I kept going. I kept looking. Oh, there we go. She has a kid. Okay. This years ago. Okay. He got his daddy haircut. I don't know, baby. Okay. Would have never known. The child's 8, but she's showing you a picture when he was clearly not 8 years old. But I was like, she got a baby? When? Where? When did this happen? So yeah, I just thought that was a crazy for today. Because she making money. Out of all the Smoolettes, she working hard. She working hard every day. Okay. So I hope that was informative for you guys. I didn't want to stay here too long. But yeah, apparently Americans got a raise. Income went up. I don't know if you feel like your income went up. If you don't, I understand. But I just had to share that with you that the data says y'all got money out there. Why y'all not spending it? The government wants y'all to spend that money. Okay. Anyway, this is your girl, Erica, Classic Line Blog. Again, you'll see me on the road with a bunch of activity. You're also going to see. She said that's gay 2 boxes. That's Eve Bayou. You want that Eve Bayou money. Okay. You want that money. You're going to see a bunch of content come up. You're going to see me do a bunch of things. I just want you to understand pivot and change and growth is necessary for all. You know, I want y'all to understand I love this. I love this channel. I love doing all this. So if you see me out on the road, you know what it is. I'll share these clips here. Again, Digital Liberty Warriors, we're training on Facebook ads this weekend. Digital Liberty Warriors next week, we're training on podcasts, on how to get them, how to pick them, how to start one, all that. And then we'll do, you know, course creation and all of the good stuff the week after that. But I just want to understand, like, there's a lot of moving parts. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys see some of the photo shoot stuff I've done. Super fun. Got to hold up a bunch of awards that I had won, and I think you guys will like that. And that's what's up. I thought I was gonna be able to get a house after a while. I was pre-approved and purchased my home in just a few weeks. Go for it, y'all. Congratulations. I'm telling you, like, I don't want to scare y'all. I don't want to overhype it, but I know a couple that was already pre-approved. In 15 days, they got in a brand new house. If you got your stuff together, you got your paperwork, you got your taxes done, you ain't got no problems. You just pick it up and hand it to the lender, and the lender can wrap it up. And your inspector come inspect. It can be as fast as 15 days, but don't get your hopes up. Clearly, take your time on this process. It can take 30 to 45 days. But that's why, you know, in the book release, y'all see a lot of the content in there. It's really a manual / book release, but the power in real estate. So, all right, you guys, it's your girl Erica. Later.
This is David W. Williams, and I'm giving a testimony to Erica Williams and her team. Because of the advertising relationship that we were able to develop, my company had the best month in the month of November for the whole year of 2024. And I'm talking about our sales were 3 or 4 times any other month during that particular year. And I know it's because of the relationship that I had with Erica and how she worked with me as an advertising partner. So now here's the benefit of working with her and her team. She's going to communicate to you what you're going to get as a result of working with her. She's going to over deliver on her value that she's providing, right? And she's not going to do a one-off deal. She's going to really invest in your success because she's really invested in making sure that you're going to get a success story from working with her as an advertising partner. So if you're looking to drive more sales, you're looking to bring in more leads, and you're also looking to get more exposure to what you're doing, you want to reach out to Erica and ask her, can I advertise with you?